History is filled with heroes, but what happens when a hero has to make a choice they know is wrong? Today, we're diving into one of the most agonizing decisions of World War II. Choice made by none other than General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the Supreme Allied Commander. This wasn't about a battle plan or a tactical maneuver. This was a moral crossroads that haunted him, and it reveals the incredible weight of command. It's the winter of 1944. The Battle of the Bulge is raging. The Allies are pushing deep into Germany, but the fighting is brutal and casualties are mounting. The American army is facing a critical shortage of frontline infantrymen. They're running out of soldiers to hold the line. Back in the United States, a controversial idea is gaining traction. Why not use African American soldiers who were serving in segregated non-combat roles as reinforcements on the front lines? This proposal, known as the replacement plan, wasn't as straightforward as it sounds. It came with a condition that was deeply rooted in the prejudices of the time. The plan stipulated that these African American soldiers could only serve in segregated platoons attached to white companies. They wouldn't be integrated as equals. Instead, they would be treated as a separate auxiliary force. Many high-ranking officers, including some of Eisenhower's own staff, staunchly defended this segregationist policy. They argued it was necessary for morale and discipline, reflecting the deeply divided society of the era. But Eisenhower saw it differently. Personally, he was opposed to segregation. He believed it was inefficient, unjust, and morally wrong. In his private letters and conversations, he expressed a desire for a more integrated military, recognizing the capabilities and patriotism of all his soldiers, regardless of their skin color. He saw the inherent contradiction in fighting for freedom abroad while denying it to your own troops. He knew this policy was a stain on the principles the Allies were fighting for. He was caught between his personal convictions and the immense political and military pressure from his superiors and the institutional racism of the army. This is where leadership gets truly tested. Eisenhower was the supreme commander, but he wasn't an absolute monarch. He had to navigate a complex web of military tradition, political realities, and deeply ingrained social biases. Pushing for full integration at that critical moment could have sparked a major internal conflict, potentially disrupting the war effort at its most crucial phase. He was told it could damage the morale of white troops and create chaos in the chain of command. He was facing a terrible dilemma: stick to his principles and risk turmoil, or compromise to ensure the war machine kept running smoothly. In the end, with a heavy heart, Eisenhower signed the order. He authorized the plan, allowing African American volunteers to fight, but only in segregated units. Over 2,000 black soldiers volunteered, serving with distinction and incredible bravery in the final months of the war. They proved their valor on the battlefield, but they did so under the shadow of the very prejudice they were fighting against. Eisenhower's decision was a pragmatic one, a concession made to win the war. He chose the path that he believed would cause the least disruption to the immediate goal of defeating Nazi Germany. This single decision offers a powerful glimpse into the brutal realities of wartime leadership. It shows that even the most celebrated figures in history are often forced to make compromises that conflict with their own values. Eisenhower knew the policy was wrong, but he signed it anyway, believing it was a necessary evil to achieve a greater good. It wasn't until after the war, when he was president, that he would take steps to finally desegregate the armed forces, a move perhaps born from the regret of this very moment. This story reminds us that history isn't just black and white. It's filled with shades of gray, and the toughest decisions are often the ones with no easy answers. Thanks for watching. If you find these deep dives into history interesting, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next explanation. See you in the next video.